justice of the peace.
And I do want to recognize my colleague, and he has been with me now. He's my seatmate, actually. How many terms?
Who's your favorite Republican colleague on the Quorum Court?
Luke McCoy. Luke, do you have anything to add?
I know.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how often does the Quorum Court meet? And what is the compensation for a JP? They may be interested in having that information.
Right, okay, so great question. The current maximum collective per diem that a justice of the peace can receive based on the amount fixed by the legislature is $16,874. That's the maximum. So when you hit that amount per diem, you hit your maximum.
Okay, and then how often do you meet?
So that's a good question. We meet in the county administration building, which is 2 blocks south of Robinson Auditorium, 1 block south of the county courthouse. In the county administration building, Suite 410, we meet on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month. So let me kind of give you an analogy real quick. The meeting on the 2nd Tuesday is what we call our agenda meeting. Like the city board has their agenda meeting. That's where they need to set their agenda for their meeting later that month. That is where all the debate happens between the members. That is where the constituencies, the citizenry weighs in, has the opportunity for public speaking. Our second meeting of the month is the 4th Tuesday, and it begins at 6 p.m. as well. And that is, let me give you the analogy. How many has been to House or Senate, State House or Senate committee meetings? How many have been to, in the gallery, I guess you would say, when the bill's on the floor? As you know, the debate happens amongst the members for the most part, and the public weighs in at the committee, which our committee meets, our agenda committee meets the 2nd Tuesday of the month. Just like the legislature, once we get to Quorum Court, which is the 4th Tuesday of the month, it's in the gallery, and that there is no public discourse, and there is very little debate amongst the members, just as you will find in the House and in the Senate and on the street when the bills get to the floor to be voted on. Does that make sense? Okay. So I guess I say all that to say this: if you want to show up, let your voice be heard as a constituent. When you arrive, there are comment cards that you can fill out. For the sake of brevity, there's a 3-minute time period that you have to make your point, and that would be at the agenda meeting, which is the 2nd Tuesday of the month, 6 p.m. at the administration building. The full Quorum Court is more like when a bill is on the floor of the Senate or the House. Any other? Yes, sir.
So you basically are saying you meet 24 times a year?
Okay, so that's a fair question. That's our regular case. We also have committees. The one that is the most active is the Budget Committee. And the Budget Committee meets in spring session and in fall session. In the spring session, we're able to see, it's usually in March, April, and May. We'll meet probably anywhere from 3 to 5 times as a budget committee. And we will close the books on the previous year because we've done like state government that runs July to July. We run calendar year as far as our budget is concerned. So once we close the books on 12/31, you've got about a 60-day write-out of making sure the bills are paid, the revenue comes in, it's accounted for. So the spring budget meetings are, the purpose of those are to evaluate how we did the previous year and where we need to improve upon. And then our fall budget meetings, which are typically in October, that is when we set the budget for the upcoming year based on the revenue projections provided by the comptroller.
And how many JPs are there in Pulaski County?
So there are 15, and I believe when Mr. Scott shows you the maps, you're going to see some that are a little bitty, that just maybe take up 20 square blocks into the city of Little Rock. And then you're going to see districts like mine that are probably 150 square miles. And the reason being is after each census every 10 years, the election commission redraws the lines, and they have to get it where all 15 districts have an even number of constituents in that district. So a more rural district is going to be larger landmass-wise than, say, a city district, quorum court district. But the same number of constituents in each district. And I want to also say, my friend Mr. McCoy, he represents Sherwood primarily. The majority of his district is Sherwood. So he doesn't deal with constituency issues that somebody like myself and the other JPs, Ms. Davis, who's not here, her district is very rural like mine. He doesn't get calls from his constituents about animals and speed humps. And the reason being, right, his constituents call the city of Sherwood. But for representatives like Ms. Davis and myself and others, we become the de facto city councilman for those constituents because we are their first line of defense. They don't have a city council. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Thank you all for allowing me to do that.